हेलो एवरीवन, आज हम लोग बात करने जा रहे हैं एक इम्पॉर्टेंट टॉपिक के बारे में जो कि आईआईटी जैम के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। वो है पीएच और पीके रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस। तो आज हम देखेंगे पीएच और पीके रिलेटेड कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स जो कि बेसिकली एमिनो एसिड से आते हैं। तो क्वेश्चन देखते देखते हम लोग कॉन्सेप्ट भी समझ लेंगे और एट द एंड ऑफ दिस वीडियो इट वुड बी टोटली क्लियर टू यू कि कैसा टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है आईआईटी जैम पेपर में और आप उसको कैसे हैंडल कर सकते हो, राइट। सो प्लीज स्टे ट्यून टिल द एंड ऑफ दिस वीडियो। और कहां से ये पढ़ना है, कैसे पढ़ना है, अगर आपको ये कॉन्सेप्ट समझ में नहीं आता है तो क्या करना है, वो सब कुछ बताऊंगा। तो देखते रहिए एंड तक। तो चलो एक क्वेश्चन लेके स्टार्ट करते हैं। ये क्वेश्चन आया था आईआईटी जैम में शायद 2017 में। तो द नेट चार्ज ऑफ द फॉलोइंग पेप्टाइड एट pH 7 is dash. So it's a numerical analysis type question, so it's in a NAT section, so you just have to enter the exact number. So कैसे इसको करना है, बहुत ही सिंपल है। So you would know that any amino acid looks like this, right, at its Zwitter ionic configuration, right? So here would be R group, here would be H. Now let's say you are changing the pH. So once you increase the pH and once you decrease the pH, देखते क्या होता है। Once you increase the pH, that means physically in the environment there would be a lot of hydroxyl groups, OH minus groups, right? And once you decrease the pH, what that means, what there would be a lot of hydrogen ions, right, in the environment. So once you decrease the pH, what would happen? These hydrogen ions would try to enter these amino acid structure. So it would kind of get attached to this structure. So it would be termed as protonation, right? Whereas at higher pH, what happens? Ki these hydroxyl groups try to take away hydrogens, right? And this is known as deprotonation. So obviously you can understand deprotonation happens when the pH is high. Protonation happens when protons are abundant and the pH is low. So यहाँ पे बात बहुत ही सिंपल है। यहाँ पे अगर आप C टर्मिनल लोगे तो ये ऐसे बनेगा और N टर्मिनल लोगे तो रफली ये ऐसे दिखेगा। Now the point is here you would see there are two charge side chains. First of all, aspartate residue and a lysine residue. Aspartate में क्या रहेगा? COO माइनस रहेगा साइड चेन में कहीं पे भी। आई एम नॉट ड्रॉइंग द होल स्ट्रक्चर बट एनीवे। एंड लाइसिन में क्या रहेगा? एमिन ग्रुप रहेगा। सो ओवरऑल यू कैन सी देयर वुड बी टू पॉजिटिव चार्ज plus charges and two negative charges, and as a result the net charge would be 0, right? So 0 is the correct option. Okay, let's move to next question, which is slightly more complicated, and let's try to solve it. So here you can see they have given an amino acid, okay, and this amino acid they have also marked the pKa for each of these groups, and now they're saying, okay, if we make an amino acid solution of this at pH 2.5 and at pH 7, what would be the net charge? Okay, so let's see how to solve these kind of questions. These kind of questions you would encounter a lot of time, but you have to know how to really solve it. So the general rule is pH less than pKa. Okay, so you would have a protonated state, means hydrogen ions would be attached. Now you would have pH greater than pKa. You would have a deprotonated state. Okay, so this is what we need to know. So first what we are going to do, they have given us a pH which is pH 2.5, right? So we are going to write pH for pH nearby each of these groups. Okay, what is the solution pH we are putting this amino acid in, right? So see each group here, what would you see? You would see the pH is greater than pKa, right? So simply you can understand there would be deprotonation happening. That means this hydrogen ion, this would move out and it would leave with a -1 charge, right? Okay, one by one. So first group is done. Second group, here you see, here you would see pH is less than pKa, right? So that means it would remain in a protonated state. So in this protonated state, you can see here is a +1 charge. So you would have a +1 charge. And also here as well, you can see pH is like way less than pKa. So again, it would be in a protonated state, right? So it would be protonated. Again, you would have a +1 charge. So overall, what would be the net charge? So the net charge at pH equal to 2.5 is basically +1 +1 -1 equal to, it's just +1, right? Exactly like that. So here your answer is +1. Now you do the same thing for pH 7, right? So let me just erase all of these stuff and try to put pH 7, okay? So again, you're going to solve this question in a same way. So first, what we are going to do is put the groups. pH equal to 7 here, pH equal to 7 here, pH equal to 7 here, right? So we can see that pH is greater than pKa here, right? So when the pH is greater than pKa, that means it would be deprotonated, right? Exactly, because hydrogen ions are less. Now here you see pH is exactly less than pKa, so it would remain in a protonated state. So you would have a +1 charge. Here you would say -1 charge, and here you would see pH is greater than pKa. That means it would be deprotonated and it would be now neutral, right? So if you get rid of the hydrogen, it would be like NH2 group, so it would be neutral. So net charge here would be +1 -1 equal to 0. So this would be 0, right? So if we tick option B, that's the correct option. Okay, let's move on further. So here they have asked that for an enzyme, this enzyme is enzyme X, for an enzyme X to work, it need the aspartate 56 residue in the active site to remain in a deprotonated state. Okay, so here you would find an enzyme which has some kind of aspartate residues in something 56 number position, and it needs to remain in a deprotonated state like this. Okay, the enzyme would be most active in which of the following pH? And they have said that pKr means whenever you would encounter pKr term, that means the pKa of side chain groups. Okay, so basically for this you simply write the pK is 5.8, right? So for deprotonation, what we know, so for deprotonation, you would have a pH greater than pKa. So any pH which is greater than 5.8, in that state, it would remain in a deprotonated configuration, right? Protonation would not occur. So here, look at all the pH. You would see at pH 6, this. So when we put pH equal to 6, it is simply greater than the pKa. So right now there would be a lot of hydroxyl ions in the environment, so it would obstruct hydrogen and it would allow this group to stay in a deprotonated configuration, which is crucial for the enzyme function, and that is why option A is correct. So I think this is now easier for you, right? It's getting easier. Now let me tell you some important thing. We do more questions. So if you learn this topic in details, I have an Unacademy course which deals with this entire biochemistry and biomolecules step by step. You can see week wise there are course planning, and you can see also the pH, pK, vitamin, this class is there. There would be a lot of practice session as well, and you see there are complete biochemistry and metabolism course as well in a structured fashion, week wise fashion. So if you want to learn more about it, you can take a subscription, and for taking a subscription you can use my code EPI10. Everything is given in the description for getting a 10% discount. Now let's resume to our problems. Now again, it's a IIT JAM question which says at what pH polyglutamate in an aqueous solution can form a alpha helical structure. Now this might be pretty confusing, but before that, let me tell you what is the problem with polyglutamate. Now, if you think about alpha helical structure, so here is our primary structure, and let's say in this primary structure there is a stretch of glutamates, okay, and there is a steric hindrance problem in terms of forming a alpha helix. So if you can see here, there would be a lot of negative charges, and that would try to destabilize the helix, right? So you can understand, if you neutralize these negative charge, then the helix can form. So obviously you have to look for a pH, right, where is actually going to be protonated and remain as COOH minus group, and at which particular pH that could happen, right? Possibly at very low pH where there is a lot of hydrogen ion and it would be making it protonated, right? So when it is protonated, you would have charge neutralization and the helix can form. Helix would be stable. So obviously now look at it. Look at all these particular pH. Everything is beyond 7. At higher pH, it would even more stay in a deprotonated state, right? So here it would be deprotonated, but in this particular temperature, pH, it would be protonated. So obviously this is the correct option. So आप बोलो ये question difficult था? No. So you just need to know the basic concept of it. Okay. Now they can also give the question about lysine, right? अगर ये lysine हो जाता, right? So lysine में क्या है भाई अपना? Lysine में भी तो अपना positive charge है, right? So positive charge in the consecutive lysine residues would make the helix unstable. तो वहां पे आप क्या चाहोगे कि भाई एक्सेस प्रोटॉन निकल जाए, राइट? एक्सेस प्रोटॉन कब निकलेगा? जब एनवायरमेंट में प्रोटॉन नहीं है, राइट? सो हियर व्हेन द pH इज वेरी हाई, like in the basic range, let's say pH equal to 10, okay? So simply you have to understand here pH should be greater than pKr for this particular lysine group, and whatever it is at that particular pH range, this particular helix can form. ठीक है, तो पॉलीलाइसिन से भी क्वेश्चन आ सकता था, हम लोगों ने एक्सप्लोर कर लिया. ओके, नाउ और एक इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है. ऐसे क्वेश्चन आता है कि इफ pK1 is 2.34, pK2 is 9.60, then the isoelectric point or pi is, what would be the isoelectric point? So it is really easy. So isoelectric point is basically half of pK1 plus pK2. So here you would really do the math here. So it would be something around 12, right? And roughly you divide it. So exactly you need to know the particular. So it's going to be 11.94, right? Yeah, exactly 11.94. So exactly you have to do this math, divided by 2, and it would give you the answer, right? So basically this is the particular answer you are looking for. So this is very easy. Remember this particular formula. Then what I was thinking, how would you tackle this kind of question? So now here you would see there would be one group here, one group here, and there is another group here, right? 3 groups, right? 3 pKa values. Now how would you calculate the isoelectric point for aspartate? Now you can imagine same problem can be faced for lysine or arginine, right? Which would have one basic side chain, one general NH2 and one COOH group, right? So how would you calculate the isoelectric point for aspartate, or let's say lysine, or let's say glutamate, or let's say arginine, right? So this is a really challenging and interesting question, right? So about this we would learn how to formulate in the next video. तो next video इसके ऊपर बनने वाला है, और कमेंट में मुझे बताइए कि आपको ये वीडियो कैसे लगा, यूजफुल रहा कि नहीं, and I'll make more videos. Promise I'll make more videos. I'm not really getting time, but I will really try to make more videos. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a quick thumbs up. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. और मेरा अनअकैडमी कोर्स तो है ही आपको हेल्प करने के लिए, वहां पे पूरा का पूरा IIT जैम का सिलेबस कवर किया गया है. आप कभी भी देख सकते हो, कहीं भी देख सकते हो, एंड यू कैन यूज माय कोड AP10 टू गेट अ 10% डिस्काउंट. सिर्फ मेरा ही कोर्स नहीं, अनअकैडमी के बहुत सारे एडुकेटर्स का कोर्स वहां पे डाला हुआ है, और आप सब्सक्रिप्शन लोगे तो सारे का सारे कोर्स का आनंद उपभोग कर सकते हो. उसके साथ फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, मैथ सब कुछ ही एक साथ पढ़ सकते हो, एंड दैट टू एट अ वेरी अफोर्डेबल कॉस्ट. सो आई होप you enjoyed this video. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.